This video is an introduction to the trombone euphonium lyrical etude in E minor, which is actually the same as the trumpet lyrical etude in their F sharp minor. We'll begin with a brief review of how to count in 6/8. You'll remember from way back in your beginning band days that the time signature 6/8 literally means that there are 6 beats in a measure and that the 8th note gets 1 beat. However, counting to 6 is cumbersome and not really practical at fast tempos, so we actually think of 6/8 as being in 2 big beats of 3/8 notes each, like this. When each beat contains 3/8 notes like this, we count it 1 lolly, 2 lolly. This is different from a time signature where each beat gets 2/8 notes, such as 2/4, which we would count 1 te, 2 te. When you see 6/8, you should automatically start thinking 1 lolly, 2 lolly. Each one of these 3/8 note beats is represented by a dotted quarter note. Each dotted quarter note gets 1 big beat, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. A quarter note is still worth 2/8 notes. Each quarter note gets 2/3 of a beat, like this. 1 li, 2 li, 1 li, 2 li. We can combine quarter notes and dotted quarter notes with 8th notes to get a variety of different rhythms. Try playing this rhythm on a concert F on your instrument. If you said 1, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1, 2 li, 1, then you're right. And if you can count this rhythm, then you can count the rhythm of the first 4 measures of the etude. Now let's turn to the etude. We won't worry about the grace notes for now. We can add those in later once we can count the rest of the rhythm accurately. Step 1 to counting this etude is to figure out where beats 1 and 2 fall in each measure. We're looking for groups of notes that are together worth 3/8 notes, or 1 beat. Examples of those might be, say, 3/8 notes beamed together, or a dotted quarter note, or a quarter note followed by an 8th note. Look in the first line for those groupings, notes that are worth 3/8 notes or 1 beat in 6/8. Here's where the big beats fall in the first line of the etude. From here, we can add in the rest of the note values for the rest of the rhythm. Let's count this first line together. 1, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1, 2 li, 1 lolly. Good. The second challenge of this etude is to count some of the tied rhythms. Let's take a look at measure 4 specifically. First, let's imagine what this rhythm would be without the tie. We would count this like so. 1, 2 lolly. Then, when we add the tie back in, we'll keep the same pulse, we just won't say the number for the tied note. That sounds like this. 1 lolly. And here it is again. 1 lolly. This rhythm comes up several times in the etude. And the same principle applies when the tie occurs across the bar line, as in measures 8 and 9. First, let's imagine what this rhythm would sound like without the tie. It would go something like this. 1 lolly, 2, 1 lolly, 2. Then, when we add the tie back in, as before, we'll keep the same pulse, we'll feel 1 in our head, but we won't say it out loud, like this. 1 lolly, 2, lolly, 2. And here it is again. 1 lolly, 2, lolly, 2. This rhythm happens a lot in the last line of the etude. That should give you everything you need to approach the rhythm of this lyrical 6/8 etude. Next week in class, we might talk about how to add the grace notes without disturbing the overall rhythmic structure. Happy practicing, and have a good weekend.